If you live in a city that has a military base, there's a missile that's aimed at you right now. If you live in a city that has an important industry, a major university, a large airport, an oil refinery, or oil storage facilities, there is a hydrogen bomb that's aimed at you right now. We live in a perilous era. There are 15,000 nuclear weapons on the planet, and the 9 nuclear weapon states are in conflict with each other. The United States and North Korea, NATO and Russia, India and Pakistan. We're just one misunderstanding, one mistake, or one fanatic politician away from a nuclear conflict.
After a deadly struggle of many years, we are at peace again. Or what we are supposed to consider as peace. The war is won, but the peace is not. The physicists who participate are harassed by a feeling of responsibility. Not to say guilt. The war is won, but the peace is not. We cannot desist from warning, and warning, and warning, and warning again. We cannot desist, we cannot. The war is won, but the peace is not. We cannot and should not slacken in our efforts to make the nations of the world, and especially their governments, aware. The war is won, but the peace is not. We delivered this weapon into the hands of the Americans and the British people as trustees of the whole mankind. The war is won, but the peace is not. We fail to see any guarantee of peace. We do not see any guarantee of the freedoms that were promised to the nations. The war is won, but the peace is not. We help in creating this new weapon in order to prevent the enemies of mankind from achieving it ahead of us. The war is won, but the peace is not. Given the mentality of the Nazis would have meant inconceivable destruction of the rest of the world. The war is won, but the peace is not. We do not see any guarantee of the freedoms that were promised to the nations in the Atlantic Charter. The war is won, but the peace is not. The great powers, united in fighting, are now divided over the peace settlements. The war is won, but the peace is not. The world was promised freedom from fear, but in fact, fear has increased tremendously. The war is won, but the peace is not. The world was promised freedom from war, but large parts of the world are faced with starvation while others are living in abundance. The war is won, but the peace is not. The nations were promised liberation and justice, but we have witnessed firing into populations who want their independence and social equality. The war is won, but the peace is not. Territorial questions and arguments of power still prevail over the essential demands of common welfare and justice. The war is won, but the peace is not. The war is won, but the peace is not. The war is won, but the peace is not.
On my orders, the United States military has begun strikes against Al-Qaeda terrorist training camps.
The war is won, but the peace is not.
Мною принято решение о проведении специальной военной операции. Ее цель – защита.
The war is won, but the peace is not.
We begin tonight with the Middle East in flames. Israel has formally declared war after that unprecedented multi-pronged terror attack from Hamas, shocking the nation, catching its intelligence service by surprise. The death toll is mounting and at least 100 taken hostage. Several Americans are now confirmed to be among the dead.
The war is won, but the peace is not.
A tragic beauty that lies in the heart of Asia. Destroyed, obliterated, and annihilated by war, the country was once surrounded by one of the highest mountains in the world.
Hi everyone. So basically my life got destroyed just in one single night. A huge war started in Ukraine and nobody knew what to do. I thought that everything would be safe in my city. On the 25th of February, while I was asleep, I heard that bombs were attacking attacking the airport next to me. So the attack was so hard that all of us were awake just in a few seconds. We're in